As much as I don't really like the critics that much as I despise the critics, I hate the critics. Okay, there is one person that I think is kind of right when it comes to the mean of cinema. Okay, so over the past couple of years, movie director, his name was Martin Scorsese, said that Marvel movies are on cinema. Okay, but if you compare, okay, Marvel movies to movies that I would consider cinema. Okay, yeah, some of the greatest films of all time. Yeah, like our Marvel movies are my favorite films of all time. Our Marvel movies, like Infinity War, as well as the Avengers, Deadpool, and Guardians of the Galaxy. I like all those movies. But if you're talking about actual like film, okay, yeah, some of those movies are really great films. They're really great films. They're really enjoyable. They have really great characters, really enjoyable characters. And a lot of superhero movies are pretty good. They're not really. And of course, you have your bad apples. But here's the question. Okay, is Top Gun Maverick cinema, which is a sequel to Top Gun? Okay, is of course Mad Max Fury Road cinema? Is of course Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy cinema? Because basically what he's saying that it's part of a franchise, it's not cinema. So is Top Gun Maverick not cinema? Is the Dark Knight trilogy not cinema? Is Mad Max Fury Road not cinema? Okay, and of course Joker. And of course he's mostly attacking superhero movies. But what he's talking about is very, very true. We need something new in Hollywood. We need a new ideas. The whole point of film is for creators and movie directors to express themselves. If they want to make the story to be told, in the 80s, it could be told. If it was a good story and had interesting characters, it could be told. But I think what Martin Scorsese is talking about, that Hollywood is, what I've been saying throughout every single box office video, that Hollywood is too reliant on the movie franchise. And before, it's like, really, Martin Scorsese is just acting like the mainstream critics over and over again. It's like, oh, they're not real movies, okay? Okay? I do like watching Marvel movies. I think Marvel movies are good. I like movies like The Batman. Okay, movies like Joker. And movies like Mad Max Fury Road. Those are really good movies. Okay, all of them are part of a franchise. Okay, and of course, let's not forget, Dune, which is an adaptation. Or, saying that adaptation's not cinema. Like, you really are, like, Dune is not cinema, or Lord of the Rings, especially Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings and Dune are basically cinema, even though they're adaptations. Okay? Or Blade Runner 2049 being a sequel to Blade Runner. Okay? But what he's really talking about, okay, is Hollywood's over-reliance on franchises. Okay? The annual box office, if I can... Here. Here. How many of these movies are not a part of a franchise? Okay. The Lost City and The Bad Guys. With The Bad Guys is an adaptation from a children's book that it's loosely based off of. Well, kind of like, the Captain Underpants movie, which is also based off a children's book. And The Boss Baby. Yep, The Boss Baby is also based off a children's book. But guess what we have? You have basically franchise movies. Okay? Movies that are part of a franchise. And we had some successful stories from non-franchise movies. Yes, we had, for every year, Northman not really doing too well. Movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Lost City, and The Bad Guys did pretty well domestically. Well, The Bad Guys actually almost beat out Fantastic Beasts. Oh yeah, The Bad Guys was supposed to come today, but Amazon screwed up the release date for The Bad Guys. I don't know why they did that. I don't know who in their mind screwed up the release date, because they don't even have a release date for that movie out. But I think in the next week they'll probably fix it. They have the correct release date for Everything Everywhere All at Once, at least. So, and Sonic 2 and The Lost City and Doctor Strange. So they have the correct release date for all those movies. But Yeah. Bad guys should be coming soon. Let's do expect to have 500 views if you for the people who watch it. I know people who still watch the Batman video, So, but what he's talking about is the franchise movie problem. Okay, how many original films made a billion were in the top selling movies of all time? Of the not of all time of the last decade was also includes of all time. Okay, so the only movies on this list that are not a part of a franchise when they came out was Bohemian Rhapsody, Zootopia, Pets, and Frozen. And Frozen was already to turn into a franchise, so we can't really count Frozen. Okay, Pets was of course turned into a franchise, getting a TV show and getting a sequel. Bohemian Rhapsody is only made gross that much money because it had one of the most popular bands of all time in all of history. It has one of the most iconic singers of all time, Freddie Mercury. Well, that doesn't really count. And Zootopia, well, it's getting a Disney Plus show. Which means, if we really want to talk about non-franchise movies, of course, something successful is going to get a sequel. But if we talk about sequels, reboots, and remakes, well, most of those movies on this list are sequels, reboots, and remakes. Okay? There's not really anything original as well. And also adaptations as well. There isn't really anything original whatsoever in the top 10 movies, of the top 50 movies of the 2020s. Okay? Or 2010s. 2020s might be different, but because you have Chinese films sometimes appearing on that list, because China is now a very important part of the worldwide box office now. But you look at this one company that seems to have a monopoly over film and entertainment. Oh, wait, I cannot see what's company. Oh, yeah, it's Disney. Okay. People say there's no Disney monopoly. Oh, yeah, Disney had the highest grossing movie of 8 of the 10 years. Of the 9 years. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of the 10 years of the 2010s. So Disney clearly has a monopoly over the box office. Okay. And even this year, there's still a Disney movie that is still at number 1 at the box office, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. It will very, very, very soon be passed by, of course, Top Gun, but you never know. Disney might pull some tricks for the rest of the year. And look at these movies that were to the top movies of the decade. Do you see any movies that were in the top 10, the most acclaimed movies? Nope. Most of these original movies didn't really make that much money. Okay. Okay, this opinion's completely wrong. The rest of it completely sucks. But you see there's no movies on this list that are, besides Mad Max Fury Road, and Spider-Verse, which didn't really, and again, here's the other question is Spider-Verse and animated movies. I could make a video about that. Is Spider-Verse cinema? Is Spider-Man the Spider-Verse cinema? That is a real question. Okay, people talk about Joker, but what about Spider-Man the Spider-Verse? Because it's an animated movie. Okay. And animated movies, of course, I wonder what Martin Scorsese thinks about Spider-Verse. I wonder. And animated movies as a whole. Is animated movies cinema? I wonder if that's the truth. Or is Martin Scorsese just given to the idea that animated movies are just for kids, which is completely stupid. I can do a whole rant about, the whole idea is animation is for kids, which is completely and utterly stupid. And I know people who still think that you shouldn't watch animated movies because they're either less a medium or they're for kids. But yeah, what Martin Scorsese is talking about is what I've been talking about for the past year. Since I've been talking about the box office since Godzilla because King Kong came out. Okay. The fact that Hollywood is overly reliant on franchise. I have said this issue many, many, many times. Okay. And that's what Martin Scorsese is really talking about. I thought, Martin Scorsese was saying it because he hates movies. He hates movies and cinema. He hates the fact that, the fact that, Marvel movies are making so much money. But we look at the highest grossing movies of the year. Well, of course, if you exclude the Chinese movies, so the Battle of Lake Changjin and Hai Mom, which are both Chinese movies. Well, besides those Chinese movies, well, all the movies, of course, here are part of a franchise. Excluding the Chinese movies here, which of course made so much money in China that if it wasn't for Spider-Man No Way Home making so much money, there could have been a possibility that the Battle of Lake Changjin could have been the highest grossing movie of the year. And yes, Spider-Man No Way Home will not be the only film since the pandemic began. We all know Top Gun will, and I wonder what records, but yeah, you got to try this, but of course you have, Chinese movies like the Battle of Lake Changjin 2, Too Cool to Kill, which is another Chinese movie as well. And then, the only movie that really made records goods is Doctor Strange, which surpassed Spider-Man 3 as Sam Raimi's highest grossing movie. Top Gun being, of course, Tom Cruise's highest grossing movie of all time at the worldwide box office. Which finally saw a movie dethroned War of the Worlds. Finally, something dethroned War of the Worlds. Finally, something dethroned this movie. Something dethroned War of the Worlds as, Tom Cruise's best-selling movie of all time. Okay, yeah, it was a good movie, but come on, guys, okay? This is his best-selling movie of all time. Come on, okay? Actually, Mission Impossible made more money worldwide, so it beat Mission Impossible for highest-selling movie worldwide. War of the Worlds was probably the highest-grossing movie in America by Tom Cruise. Also passed Pirates and Shrek 2 for the world's second weekend. So yeah, Top Gun making tons of records. It'll also be the first movie made with Tom Cruise to make $1 billion as well. I think that's going to be set in stone. Okay. But what Martin Scorsese is talking about, I think is very, very true. We need new ideas in Hollywood. We need new ideas in film in Hollywood. Of course, I don't really care about the Oscars and what they think, what, Rotten Tomatoes thinks of what movies are the best movies, okay? They can put whatever woke crap they want, and, like Lightyear, okay? They can put whatever crap they want, like Lightyear, Disney movies, and then, of course, they're going to tell you, oh, yeah, don't watch, Jurassic World, because, it isn't woke enough. Or they're going to tell you, don't watch Top Gun, because it's pro-America, or something stupid like that. Okay, something stupid and idiotic that these critics will come up with. Okay, that these completely phony and these phony hacks will come up with. Okay, that's completely ridiculous that there are people who still believe these phony hacks called the critics. Okay, and of course, technically, I could be a movie critic as well, but of course, I'm not verified as a movie critic because, of course, I don't post my reviews on Rotten Tomatoes because I hate Rotten Tomatoes. I think Rotten Tomatoes is stupid. Okay, and rest of the box office number 1 movies as well. And yep, that's basically about this video. Goodbye.